I have a really cool rock here. This rock has a lot of meaning to me. It's given to me by one of my best friends, Brady Cohn. He got this over in Israel, and this is actually a rock right out of the same valley that David and Goliath fought. Likely, the rock the size that David would have used been something like this. The rock was thrown was probably a baseball, softball size, kind of a cool thing. I love the story of David and Goliath. You know, the funny thing is, in the stories like David and Goliath and other biblical stories, we try to insert ourselves into stories, which is always kind of dangerous. Be careful of that. But the funnier thing than that is when we insert ourselves in the story, guess who we insert ourselves as? We try to insert ourselves as the hero. And what I have found in my life is I'm not the hero in a story. Interesting thing about Jesus and the Bible, we find as we read that we actually are not the heroes in the story. Jesus is always the hero. We never were. You're like, well, I want a place in the story. Well, I probably have some places in the story. As I look at my own life and think of David and Goliath, some of the places I might have in the story is sometimes I've been a Goliath. Sometimes I doubt God, and sometimes I flex my earthly power like I'm the most powerful being in the world, and sometimes I even mock God in areas. Another one, sometimes I'm like King Saul, and King Saul there, I'm someone who's called to stand for God and God's virtues and God's values, to stand for what is right, but instead of doing that, I end up being quiet and I hide. Why? Because I don't want to risk my earthly kingdom to stand for what God says is right. I'm not willing to be ridiculed or risk losing relationship by standing against the giant of our culture that seems so insurmountable. But the good news is this: I'm not the hero. Jesus is the hero of the story, and so my job is to step into his victory.